learned in the previous part that three types of rocks are igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Now let's learn the sedimentary rock in detail. So let's start with the formation. So when igneous rocks broke down by weathering and carried away by the forces of gradation like rivers, glaciers and waves. So they are deposited as sediments near the low-lying areas or near the water bodies. So the sediments get cemented together to form sedimentary rocks. Now let's learn the characteristics. They are most widespread on the surface of the earth. They are soft rock and there is usually a presence of fossils. Fossils means dead remains of plants and animals. So there is usually a presence of fossils in the sedimentary rock. Okay, now let's learn its formation process, that we call it lithification. So lithification means turning the loose sediments into hard rocks. There are three processes in it: evaporation, compaction and cementation. Okay, so evaporation. So the rocks are formed by evaporation of water called evaporates. For example, gypsum. Compaction. So it happens when sediments are deeply buried and placing them under pressure because of the weight of overlying layers. These squeeze the grains together more tightly are called compaction. And the third process is cementation. In this process, sediments are glued together by minerals are deposited by water. So the processes which are involved in lithification are evaporation, compaction and cementation. Now let's learn the classification of sedimentary rocks. So based on the nature of sediments, their origin, composition, these rocks can be classified into three categories. What are these? Mechanically formed, in bracket I have written the example sandstone. Chemically formed, example coal limestone. Organically formed, example gypsum. So first, mechanically formed. So these contains fragments from breaking up of other rocks. These are called clastic sediments, which are gradually squeezed by the weight of overlying sediments and lower layers harden to form the rocks. Next is chemically formed rock. They are formed by direct precipitation of mineral matter from solution. And organically formed, these rocks contain remains of dead plants and animals. Now let's learn the mechanically formed rocks and its types. So there are mainly four types: riverine rock, lacustrine, glacial and marine rock. See, the riverine rock found near the riverine areas or near the riverbeds, lacustrine rocks found near the lakes, glacial rocks found near the areas where glacial erosion is active, and marine rocks found near the coastal regions. Now let's learn the third type of rock is metamorphic rock. So the formation. Metamorphic rocks arise from the transformation of existing rock types in a process that we call it metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means change in form. For example, clay changes into slate and limestone changes into marble. Remember, in the metamorphic rock, the chemical and the physical composition completely changed. There are three processes in it. What are these? Thermal metamorphism, dynamic metamorphism and regional metamorphism. So first, in the thermal metamorphism, in this process transformation takes place due to high temperature. Dynamic metamorphism, in this process transformation takes place due to high pressure at great depth. Another metamorphism is there, that is regional metamorphism. So when metamorphism takes place over a large area due to Earth's movement, it is called regional metamorphism.